Have you ever tasted a lasagna so rich, so cheesy, so wonderful that you wondered what is the secret behind it? Today, we're not just going to make a lasagna, but I'm going to share you the secrets on how to make your lasagna better than ever. So, stick around and let's make your kitchen a lasagna lover's paradise. Let's go. What's going on, foodie fam? Welcome back to Bless the Chef. Today we're tackling lasagna, a step-by-step process. We're going to break down this lasagna recipe in 4 major steps. We're going to show you how to make a mirepoix and a meat sauce. We're going to craft a perfect pasta. We're going to make you a bechamel sauce with cheese to it. And then we're going to assemble it and bake it. And also, we're going to share some pro tips and answers some of the most Googled questions about making lasagna. Let's jump in. A mirepoix is the basis of many sauces and soups. Normally it's 2 parts onion, 1 part carrot, 1 part celery, fine diced. Now you can finely dice it or you can put it in a food processor. I like to use it as a food processor, makes it a lot easier and it speeds up the process. Plus, it gives you an extra depth of sweetness to the sauce. Sometimes when you see people making spaghetti, they're actually adding in sugar. And the reason why they're adding in sugar is because they don't put carrots in there. If you actually add carrots, you can roast the carrots or you can just cook them regular. And it's going to add a little depth of sweetness to it. And that's normally when you get it to probably around an hour or 2 hours. So you want to give that sauce a long period of time to cook. Okay. Now, we want to put a little bit of oil in the bottom of this. Now, you don't have to put olive oil in there, but I do add a little olive oil. And I also add in a 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork. Now, by adding the pork and the beef, there's tons of fat in there. So you can add a little bit of oil, but you don't really need as much. We're going to stir this around a little bit and we're going to add in some garlic. Now, we're adding in the garlic right now. We're going to stir it down and we're waiting until the vegetables kind of reduce down. Now we've added in some red wine and we're going to put the red wine in until it reduces down, and then we're going to add in our tomato sauce. Now we're going to add in also some seasoning. We have our smoked paprika and garlic powder and onion powder. This right here, I like to use dry basil. And the reason why I use dry basil is because when you put in fresh herbs and at the beginning, it kind of wilts up a little bit too much and then it kind of gives an overpowering taste. We're going to take some spinach that you can actually buy the box spinach already and just take a little bit of that water out. And then we're just going to let this simmer, and we're going to let this simmer roughly around 4 hours. And once you finish it in around 3 to 4 hours, it's going to give this rich flavor to it. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to make our pasta. Now, when we make our pasta, normally they make you do a well or put it on the thing and open a hole and then put your eggs and all your stuff in there. We ain't doing all that. I ain't got time for that. The best way to do this is very simple as this. Get you a food processor, add roughly around 2 eggs to 3 cups of flour. And we're going to add a little bit of oil and a little salt. You don't need it right now, and you just blend it on low. And what's going to happen, it's going to blend perfectly. Now, we need to knead it a little bit, but you want to blend it until all the bits or pieces of flour are picked up out of the processor. Should take about 20 seconds. Now we're going to knead it. And when you're kneading it, you're just going to fold it. Yeah, a little bit. So you're going to roll up your sleeve a little bit and then get in there. This doesn't need to take too long. You're probably going to do it for about 4 or 5 minutes. And then once it's smooth and it bounces back a little bit, it's going to be really, really hard like a rock. You want to put it in a plastic bag and then put it away. I got this handy little tool right here to get my cheese ready. So I'm going to put my cheese while we're waiting on the dough to kind of be ready to knead it a little bit more. So we got our 3 cheeses that we're using. We have Parmesan cheese, we have white cheddar, And we also used another cheese, which I'm forgetting right now. Mozzarella cheese, there we go. All right, so we have Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese, and we also use a white cheddar cheese, and that's gonna be later on for the Mornay sauce. So now our pasta has rested a little bit, about 30-40 minutes, and we're gonna knead it out a little bit, and then we're gonna cut it into mini squares. Now, I'm still gonna knead it a little bit with my hand a little bit, get it right there, and then I'm gonna flatten it out. Once I flatten it out just enough, I'm gonna flour it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it through my pasta maker. Now this pasta maker is just a manual one. It's not expensive. It's like 10-15 bucks. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start from the highest setting all the way down to the lowest setting. Once you finish and you get it down to the lowest setting, you wanna be able to see through it just a little bit, and then you're gonna put a little bit of flour on it so it doesn't stick. Now that we got all of them done, I'm gonna measure it with my container, and I'm just slicing them up right now. So now I had to do this multiple times, and the reason why I had to do it multiple times, I was making multiple lasagnas, and I made it 2 different ways. So this way right now is just showing you how you can make your lasagna from scratch. Now when you take your noodles, before you actually put them in, put it together, you wanna put them in hot water, cook them for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it back in to cold ice bath. And that ice bath is gonna stop it from cooking. Now let's get the Mornay sauce going. I'm gonna do partial flour, and then we also have a little bit of butter. I'm gonna let that cook down. I added a little bit of oil to it because I need a little bit more. I didn't want to add any more butter. So we're just trying to get the rawness out of the flour. That's all we're trying to do, is get a little bit of this rawness out. So we're gonna cook this down, and now you see the rawness will come out, and it's gonna kind of bubble up a little bit. Now I went ahead and I put some milk in the microwave, and I added a pinch of nutmeg in the milk. And I just put it in the microwave just to get it warm, and now I'm using it in here. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that nutmeg and some smoked paprika, and there you go. That is right there, perfect. So right there is a bechamel sauce. Now we're making it to a Mornay sauce by adding our cheeses. Now I'm only adding the Parmesan cheese, and I'm adding a little bit of the white cheddar. So you got the white cheddar cheese going in, you got a little bit of the Parmesan. Now we're gonna put our layers in. So as you see right here, I'm putting in my layers. I put my cheese on top of it, I put my sauce at the bottom of it so it doesn't stick. And now I'm just putting another piece of pasta sheet right on top of it, a little bit more of my bechamel sauce, and then I'm gonna add the mozzarella cheese right here, because this is that stringy cheese. This is where you get that cheese pull. And on the last layer, what you wanna do, now on this one, this is just showing you if you did it with, I don't know why you put a clip in there, but if you did it with a dry pasta, you can do a dry pasta the same way. So now I'm putting on my last bit of sheet of pasta, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of bechamel sauce on there, and I'm gonna put a little bit more of my mozzarella cheese on and some Parmesan cheese. And then I'm gonna put this on the lid, and I'm going to put it in the oven. A little bit more bechamel sauce right on top of this. Now, when you're putting this in the oven, it's very simple. You wanna put it in the oven at around 350 to 375 for around 30-45 minutes, and you're gonna let it sit for a little bit. Once you pull it out, you wanna make sure that it is nice and ready to go. And enjoy. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you think about the recipe.